All cameras rolling. All right, awesome. Well, this episode is being recorded at Dice Recording Studios in Orlando, Florida, baby. If you're looking to, record music, do a music video, take photo sessions, etc., this is your spot here in Orlando, Florida. Dice Recording Studios. Go ahead and give it to the guy. Jesus Christ. You're gonna amp my man up already. He's already amped. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Ink. This is your boy Kalo.
This is Alex.
And today we got again, because we had to do it again, it's Mr. Crush Captain, baby.
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here again.
Come on, everybody. That's it. How you doing, my guy? How's it going?
I was waiting for it. I was like, he's definitely going to do it, for sure.
How's it going with you, man?
Man, I'm doing so good, bro. Always doing good. Even when I'm doing bad, I tell myself I'm doing good, and it's just a better mindset to have than telling yourself you're doing bad. So
that's awesome. How's it been here in Orlando? You came in for about a week already?
Yeah, I've been here for about a week, and it still feels like home. So that's a good thing. I like being here. I still miss the cold, actually. Now I've gotten used to being a lot colder, but it's not too hot here in this time, so I can't complain.
It's nice weather right now.
Yeah, it is.
I hate it when Florida's a tease like that, when it gets cold like this.
And then the next 2 days is like hot.
Back with the
heat. That's right.
Man, well, welcome again. Thank you for coming, man. Appreciate it. So we spoke a lot the other time at the Orlando Tattoo Show, but we didn't speak more about you. How's your day like at the beginning to the end? Like, what's your day like for Crush Captain? How do you start to get yourself amped up, ready to go for, I don't know, a big session like the ones you do?
My days, basically, my Mondays are the same as my Wednesdays. My Wednesdays are the same as my Saturdays, and so forth. So I do my best to keep it that way because I think consistency is everything. And at least for me, I think being consistent throughout the week and doing the same things over and over is what helps me focus on my goals a lot better. Like, you know, if I have strides, I think that doing the same thing every single day, and I know that sounds boring, but doing the same thing every single day is actually a good thing. And some people might see that as like, oh, well, that's boring and that's this and that's that. But I think people don't reward themselves enough with the things that they're doing. I think if you are able to find gratification, even in small ways, on your daily routines, I think you will be a lot more entertained and you will see it as not being as boring. Because, I mean, I don't know about you guys. Maybe I'm just different, but I genuinely do not understand how you could possibly do the same things over and over and over and see results, whether they're micro or macro, see results and be bored. Like, how? Gotcha. You know, I do so many things, and I keep count, and I use different ways of measuring my goals and how far I've come, whether it's little or big steps. I see them, and they excite me, and therefore, it's just not boring to me.
Discipline. Discipline is hard for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to learn it.
I'm not disciplined at all, my dude.
I want to get into that, by the way. Sure. If you guys don't mind.
Yo,
go
get
ahead,
into it, man.
Yeah,
yes,
man.
sir.
Keep
The mic is yours, man.
Listen,
all right. Keep on speaking, man.
Maybe you getting into it, I could learn something from you. Because
I think so.
Let me tell you, I am not organized nor.
Drop the bars.
I think so. And I'll begin by saying there is no black and white with discipline, right? So discipline itself is a matter of just making it happen. A lot of people think that discipline is this crazy skill that you just do the thing and sometimes you feel it. But no, discipline is literally it's making the choice every single day of doing the things that you said you're going to do. Yeah. And I think a lot of people get discouraged because when they set out to have discipline, they think that they separate discipline with discipline in certain things or whatever the thing is that you have to do. Yeah. So to have discipline in eating, to have discipline in going to the gym, to have discipline in staying at work longer, to have discipline in making sure that you're studying a certain amount of time. Well, you can't be an undisciplined person in other realms of life and expect to have discipline in other places.
Okay.
Right.
Therefore, you have to be a disciplined person in general before you can become disciplined at whatever it is that you want to do.
That's facts.
So for me, I started off small. And this is something that I kind of taught myself through reading and doing a little bit of research and hearing a few people talk on podcasts about like things that they would do. And I was like, it's so much harder to become disciplined when you try to create a whole system of things you're not used to. But if you condense it down to being disciplined at one thing, staying consistent with that, and then picking up another thing to be consistent with. So you can literally become so consistent and disciplined as a person by doing little things that are super easy, but making it a habit for 2 to 4 weeks and then moving on to something else that's smaller. Basically, it's kind of like going to the gym. When you go to the gym, you don't instantly throw on 3 plates and start doing reps. Most of the time, you put on half a plate.
Yep.
And then you see where you go from there until you gain strength. It's the same thing. It's like a muscle. And the problem is that people, metaphorically, go to the gym with their discipline and try to put on more weight than they can handle. Yeah. Because they see other people saying, oh, I do this every day and I do this every day. Those people, more than likely, already have a foundation of discipline. Yeah. Therefore, you can't expect to go and have the level of discipline that they have. It's like looking at a guy who weighs 100 pounds and a guy that, weighs 220 pounds, pure muscle, and seeing what he's lifting and being like, oh, well, he does that. I can do that. Yeah. No, it's not. It's physically impossible for you to, for the most part. Yeah. So I think that's how discipline works. And when you adopt that mentality and when you see it as there's time, take your time. There's no reason to rush. A lot of people want results fast, right away. But the thing is that the hardest things in life have literally always come to those that wait. And it's not waiting, just sitting there with your thumb.
No, you got to put the work.
No, you have to put in work, and therefore you have to wait.
The thing is that people are used to instant gratification, which is that instant, fast, happy feeling or feeling great about it. And things take time.
Patience.
That's right.
I think patience is very hard for people to.
I think now it's harder than ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think learning anything now is harder than ever.
It's because everything has been handed
so
easily. It's been so easy to get things that I guess people have forgotten how to do the work.
There's a price. There's a price that comes with being given everything, right? For example, last time we covered how much easier it is to be a tattooer in this day and age in 2 or 3 years and not suck, right? But there's a drawback to that.
Yeah.
And because I reviewed it and I was like, and a lot of people commented and said certain things. Mostly, I'd say like 98. I think I got like 1 or 2 kind of negative comments, like personally through DM because I asked for feedback. But anyway.
Okay.
So I thought about it and I was like, to a degree, there's a drawback. How is there a drawback? Well, in this day and age, also, we have a massive, and I mean a massive amount of distraction everywhere.
Yeah, right.
And there always have been distractions.
It happens.
But my brother, since COVID, most of us just sat around in our phones, our TVs, our laptops, doing nothing but using our brains, our brain power to watch TV, be on TikTok, be on Snapchat.
To consume, it's just consuming.
Nothing but consuming. Yeah. And it has fried so many people's brains, right? And I'm not going to get all controversial and all that stuff. But but my point is that to everything there's a drawback. Yeah. Sure, there's more information out there. However, now your brain has been systematically built to pay attention to 50 different things at once. Yeah. So how are you going to focus getting all of that information? Well, that's where discipline comes in. And that's why all I do is try my best to practice discipline. That's why when I did the 75 hard challenge, it wasn't about me getting fit. It wasn't about me reading a book every day. It was, even when people ask me, they're like, well, what is it? And I'm like, it's a discipline routine. Yeah. I didn't say it's a workout thing. I didn't say it was a health thing. I'm not like a super healthy person, bro. I do whatever the hell I want because I train my ass off and I eat somewhat decent so that I can overcompensate for my unhealthy ways, and not saying that everybody should be unhealthy. You should live your life how you want to live your life. But I think if you know where you're going, it's because you should have an understanding. Yeah. And I think most people don't understand where they're going. They just like, I want to go there. And it's like, well, how do you go there? And they don't understand, like, to the micro. How do you get there? It's discipline, bro. That's it.
At the end of the day, it's all mental. Yeah. It's all mental, and it's hard. It's hard. I catch myself, I'm doing the work that I'm supposed to be doing, and then once I press that social media app, it's like I catch myself, dude. What? Yeah,
have you caught yourself?
You get lost, bro.
Like 15 minutes in, 20
minutes in, 30 minutes in.
I catch myself doing it. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, man? Get back to work, bro.
Have you caught yourself, and this has happened to me a couple of times, have you caught yourself exiting out the app and then going right back to it?
Yeah.
That is, like, when that happens to me, I'm like, I
gotta stop.
I'm in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Like, I've been conditioned in such a subtle way. And again, I'm not gonna get controversial, but it's just like if it's happening to me, and I'm not the most disciplined person in the world at all by any means. I'm just now starting to, in the last 5-6 months, I've been putting a lot of work in different ways to become disciplined. But I'm like, and I will say, I think I'm definitely above average when it comes to the discipline in the average person. Okay. Not that means so much, because like I just said, the attention span now of the average human being is ridiculously low. So it's actually not much harder to be a disciplined, above average disciplined person in today's world. But if it's happening to a guy like me, I can only imagine what's happening to the masses. Yeah. Think about it.
No, definitely. Everybody's caught in it.
Yeah.
It sucks. Yeah. It sucks so bad.
It does.
Especially for people that are trying to run their business and starting off, and they just drift into this damn TikTok and Instagram and YouTube.
I'm about to get so controversial right now.
Do it. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Hold on.
I'm about to get controversial, and it's okay. And some people might hate this, but it's okay. I believe in survival of the fittest.
Okay.
Whether that works for or against me, I like to take ultimate accountability in things. Yes. So when I say it's about survival of the fittest, you just said, well, man, it sucks for these business owners because they're distracted and they're just on TikTok and they got to do this and they got to do that. My brother, life is becoming more difficult by the minute. You must adapt. Yeah. Right? Things change. And with change, you're either going to sink or swim, because you have to either adapt or you become a dinosaur. Yep. So for me, I don't feel pity on the people that don't change. Yeah. Why? Because it's tough for me, bro. Yeah. You think when I first started my journey with discipline, I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that and force myself to do things I didn't want to do. No, but I did it because it is required for me to be successful at some point. I know that I'm honing these skills to be able to be successful at one point, whether it's today, tomorrow, or in a year from now, right? So when I say survival of the fittest, if those people do not survive in business, it's not that I'm happy about it, but I'm like, okay, somebody will come and take that spot. Yeah. I mentioned before on our last talk, I was like, every single day we go to war. Yep. Every single day we go to competition against somebody. When you're in business, whether you want to admit it or not, you are in competition with those that rival you. Exactly. Whether they're at the top or at the bottom. And the top is obviously going to be the number one rival that you have. And whether you want to see it as they're your rival or not, believe me, you are still in competition. And I can really go down that road, but I feel like everybody just can understand what I mean by that. Mm-hmm. So again, survival of the fittest. Yes, sir. And only the strong will survive. And that's the truth. That's how and again, I will say it can literally happen to anybody. Yeah. At the end of the day, life is crazy. Nobody knows Nobody knows what's in store. So a guy like me, right, like a somewhat disciplined guy, I could be doing all the right things, and perhaps I just avoided some others, or something happened in life where I just didn't happen. And then people are like, haha, you were the one, survival of the fittest. Well, if that's the case, guess what? I'm not going to complain about it. Because it is survival of the fittest. And it's natural selection at the end of the day.
You will own to it.
If it is my time and I have to fail, I won't fail. I'll learn.
It's a lesson learned, definitely.
It's a lesson learned.
Crush, a question that related a little bit to tattooing.
Yeah.
You are the anime guy. You are the color guy. The anime
guy. Shit. Give me 1 second.
What type of tricks or technique you have for color packing? If you can give any.
Dude, I'm an open book. Like we spoke last time, anybody can literally reach out to me at any given time, and they can't say that I didn't write them an extensive message on whatever questions they have.
Yeah.
And I think there's a right and tailored way.
Okay.
There's obviously wrong ways to do things, but I think there's a right way and there's also a tailored way. And what I mean by tailored way is it's like you get the right way and then you kind of mold it to work for you in your own way.
Exactly.
So my tailored way of doing things is not too different from anything that you've already heard. So I can sit here and tell you, but it's going to be boring and it's going to be the same shit. I go from, I pack my undertones. Black is super necessary. And then I just start from dark to light in my colors. But the one main thing that I will say that I think a lot of artists overlook is most people need to use more values in their colors. What I mean by that, most people will they'll do a dark red, right? Like a deep red. And then they'll do a medium red. And then they'll do a light red, right? Now that's cool, depending on how big the area is and what it is that you're trying to achieve. Now, I'm just going to say exclusively for me, what I like to do to create more, to make it a tattoo look more saturated, to make it look like it has more value, just better blends even. What helps is having a bare minimum of 4 to 6 minimum different values, right, to your reds. So like instead of having 3 reds, well, maybe you should try, if the area that you're packing in is big enough, maybe you should try having 5 or 6 or at least 4. Why not add another one? And when you think of in terms of even the word itself, value, just by saying you're adding, even though it has nothing to do with it, but you're adding value, to me that just sounds so attractive because you're adding value to your work, right? And how do you bring value? Well, value usually takes a little more work to do. So drop that extra color in there. Drop that extra hue or that extra value, you know? And I think a lot of people overlook that. But my biggest thing whenever people come to me with their portfolios and they want some sort of critique, it's they're missing values, man, you know? And that's the biggest thing because I think a lot of people do very solid work and they know how to pack color properly. But they're like, man, I just don't know how to create that, like, that depth and this and that. And it's most of the time, I kid you not, I'd say probably 70% of the time, it's usually values. I could see a really good tattoo artist that, you know, they do great work. You look at their work and they're like, wow. And it's just like, it's missing value. Like, if you just add that little thing in there, I promise you your work will change dramatically.
Dude, I got to say, your color packing is crazy. Shit.
The black and gray artist is amazing.
When I grow up, I want to be just like you.
Nice.
Honestly, man.
You're going to have a lot of joint pain.
Right? So besides, because you're the anime guy, but is there any other style that you've wanted to get better at it, or have you thought it? Because I know everybody goes to you for the anime, so I guess it's harder to learn a different technique to get better at it. Well, you know.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, I've been doing anime strictly for about 6 years.
Okay.
And obviously I've been tattooing for about close to 13 years, and I miss sometimes doing overall styles. Like I miss doing neo-trad, I miss doing new school, I miss doing black and gray, I miss doing some realism. Maybe realism somewhere last over there, but because I like doing lines, and I like, creating more illustrative things. So tattoo lines, by the way.
Of course.
Yeah. You know what kind of lines I'm talking about.
You see, I could relate to you on that because I like the illustrative, more illustrative, more lines and stuff like that.
More lines is always good, bro. Just all the lines. You know what I mean? What you got in that bag over there, bro?
No, don't worry about it.
What you got in that bag? Speaking of lines.
Speaking of lines.
What you got in that bag over there, bro?
No, it's a surprise for you for later.
Okay. Hell yeah.
It's not lines, though.
Not lines? Okay. That's cool, bro. We could just do shading. We don't have to do lines. All mags.
Yes, all mags and round shaders.
That's me. I love mags. Man. Lines.
I know you can still do lines with round shaders, bro. So you got to be careful with that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I had him do a couple lines with a round shader.
Damn.
And he was like,
I can't do this shit. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Give me a bigger. You need to get used to it.
Nah, give me a bigger round liner.
Yeah.
He's like, give me a bigger round liner. And I'm
the trick with the round liners that I've noticed is you want to act, in my opinion, of course, and obviously it depends on like what machine you're holding, whatever. In my opinion, I think running a round shader as a line the trick is you have to go slower. Maybe run your machine a little lower than when you're used to. Let's say you run it at a 9, maybe run it at like a 8.2 or 8.3 and just go slower. And make sure that when you're dipping in the ink, you're giving it enough time to let the ink really build up in there. And then just do your best to go really slow, especially if you're trying to achieve one pass lines.
I have to get better at it, obviously, because I definitely will lose clients. I mean, there was one that wanted a back piece with a bunch of, mechanical anime type of thing.
I know Neon Genesis.
Yeah.
Evangelion, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know how Nerve had this kind of like images of like how the actual angels are with the 20 eyes on the wings, 3 or 4 or 5 wings and stuff like that. Well, she wanted something like that with a little bit of like cyberpunk type of stuff. Yeah. And obviously she started talking to him. It was like, I don't want it. There's too many lines. And I was like, all right, well, I'll talk to her.
Yeah.
I like those type of tattoos.
Yeah.
So we got to her and she was like, then she was like, listen, I know that's a lot for one sitting. I want that on the background. I want actually this to be, these cybernetic short wings to be the scent, what's in the front ground. And I was like, all right, then let's do that first. And then we'll deal with the other stuff because the image that you have is too light.
Right.
Actually, I have to remake it
in
order for it to be more noticeable. And she was like, hey, that's great. That's fine. Let's do it.
My thing is that I got to learn because obviously, I lost a client right there. But I'm gladly I passed it to him because I'd rather pass it to, my guy over here than
there you go
to another tattoo shop, nah.
You know
but
what's
it's
worse
like,
than
shit, man, you need to stop with that bullshit. And like, again, I'm talking to myself, you stop that bullshit. I'll be in get your shit.
I'd say the worst part about that, in my opinion, you didn't lose a client. You lost experience that you could have had.
There you go.
And like, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. But if you see it that way instead of I lost a client, I don't think losing a client hurts as much because there's clients in every corner. I think what hurts more, and the reason I say what hurts more is because to me, I learn more through pain than I do being passive. Yeah. So when I just let things go, it's kind of like I don't care about it. Yeah. But if I let something hurt me or I shame myself into something, like for example, if I had done that, I'd be like, I lost a client. It doesn't hurt that much. There's many clients, right? You could say maybe money's more important to you. So like, man, this project would have given me X amount of money and I needed that money. So boom, shame, hurts. Now you learned a lesson. You're like, I'm not going to do that again. But if you go down to the main core and like to me, the main thing would be experience. Well, I'm like, how many hours of experience could I have had with that tattoo?
Exactly.
Right? It could have maybe been 2 sessions, 4 sessions, doing something that I'm not very familiar with, but I probably have enough friends that I could have asked for advice or at least to be next to me. I know that's a little out there, but maybe having a talk with somebody that you look up to or respect that does that kind of work. I mean, you could have hit me up. Shit. I could have been like, hey, bro, do this, and maybe it would have made you a little comfortable, but get that experience.
Yeah.
Just
I love realism. I want to do realism. Just only realism. It's just I love that.
This is the funny thing. I have him doing a Jinx piece on my thigh.
Yeah.
We already started the line work. Obviously, there's certain lines I have to go over again. Yeah. So I have him shaders. I have him doing
fucking round shaders.
Like an anime piece here.
Yeah.
And I'm coaching him little by little of how I do things and whatnot. And he's gonna get it through there.
That's good.
I love the anime, the color again, color
he likes
color pack, and the way that anime.
He likes how they look, but he doesn't want to do them.
Yeah. I don't want to.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of benefit, in my opinion, in trying to do things that you're not into or that you're kind of scared of doing or that you just don't know in general. Because I'd say for the little that I dabbled into realism, it actually helped me out with my anime. The little I dipped into neo-trad, into new school, all of those things have helped me significantly with the style that I do now.
Okay.
So when I think about it in terms of, like, what if I only had done neo-trad? Well, then maybe my tattoos would have all looked very neo-trad. But because I dabbled into all these different styles, well, then I can put all those different styles implemented into the style that I now do, So.
And that's why you're the anime guy.
Well, I try.
I'm sorry, man. These dudes sucking. No, bro. It's just the dude's nasty, man. It's just, bro. I give you so much props.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
It means a lot. No, let me tell you something. Like I'm gonna be 7 years now as a tattoo artist, and when I started. Your page was one of the first pages that I started following.
That's amazing.
I wanted to figure out how.
100%.
So my other question is now, we got into a machine topic. What is your preferred stroke, or what is one of the go-to ones?
Bro, it really just depends. It really just depends on the machine. Bro, just give me, dog, you can give me a guitar string, I'll sharpen it, and I'll make it work.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You posted something that you were working with a $75 machine the other day?
$70 machine, bro.
That's right.
So how's that compared to, I don't know, whichever?
Bro, it's been amazing, and it's made me realize that most of these companies are full of shit. No offense.
No, hey, it is what it is.
No offense, I get it. Business is business. Yeah. People need to make money. You're going to charge 500% of what it costs to make you a machine, 1,000% even.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's okay. I'm not judging you. I get it. But now that because, bro, you know what's crazy is I started using those machines for 2 months. And I was like, it hasn't even been 2 months, month and a half. And then I was like, maybe I'm being biased because I've spent a month and a half using these machines, and I think they work great. So now I'm going to go back to my other machines. Mind you, I have a bunch of other machines, and I have homies machines that are all good quality machines. The cheapest machine I have in my drawer might be a $600 machine, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, let me go back to these machines and see the difference. My brother, there is no difference. There's no technical difference, at least that I notice. Perhaps I'm just an amateur and I know nothing, right? Maybe there's a micro level difference in the motors where perhaps it's slightly inconsistent here and there, and maybe you're some master artist that needs it to be that perfect.
That precise.
Maybe it's maybe these machines are 90%, you need it to run at 98% because nothing runs at 100. I don't know. Yeah. But for me and what I do, and I'm not the best tattooer in the world, it works out for me, right? So Do I think these companies are going to send out a hit on me, by the way? Like, you're going to have, I'm not going to name any companies, but I only try to name companies I'm with, but I'm not going to name any of these companies, but you guys know who they are. Yeah. It's going to be like 5 of them. They're all having a meeting right now at the table, and they're like, we have to stop Crush Captain.
Crush, we got to stop him.
He's promoting these Temu $70 machines.
Watch, I'm gonna get a letter from a lawyer. You better drop that shit.
Cease and desist.
Cease and desist. Drop the video.
You know what the crazy thing is, bro? They literally, and I know it's a joke, but they literally could not do that even if they wanted to. Because 1, like I said, I'm not mentioning any companies.
Yeah.
No, of course.
2, even if I did, bro, it's all like it's all kind of like a scam because these guys get most of their shit done in factories in China.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, but this company's from da-da-da. It's like, bro, they still went to China. They had their developed in China, and then they brought it back and maybe put it in a factory where they say it's American made, but the prototype was made in China, my friend.
It's like right now, one of the most popular motors is German.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with the needles. I just noticed a lot of people are throwing out needles with their name on it. But
well, it's easy. It's very easy to white label something. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you right now. Now I can actually say a name. FYT, bro. Shout out to FYT. And I'm not.
Shout out.
I'm not going to publicize any names, although I could. But FYT, bro, makes a lot of the company needles that you use. Okay. Like a lot of the needles that other people in the industry use are made by FYT. They're just white labeled, so they get paid to obviously put these names on these people.
Yeah, it's like the factories make.
Right. So it's funny because I stay quiet about things, but I'll see people using certain brands of needles, and I'll be like, "Cool, hey man, have you tried FYT?" They're like, "No, I haven't, man, but I really like these." And it's so funny because I'm like looking at their needles and I'm just like, little do you know, you are using FYT. So, again, I keep that to myself. In the sense of like, I won't tell you what names, although I'm pretty sure they gave me permission to. I think they're the only ones that are not allowed to say it, but me as an artist, I can hopefully say that. I'll send that. If we make a video out of this, please send it to me first so I can verify with them that I can say this.
Gotta take it to my lawyers before.
Yeah, but nah, man. And dude, again, like I know I said this before, but like those guys love me. I love them. They take care of me. I couldn't be more grateful to them. And man, like they're like I got so blessed, so lucky to be with them. So yeah, I don't have to worry about anything.
I'm gonna send them an email, see if we can do some behind the ink needles.
FYT,
and then the first thing I'm gonna call Crush, hey, you better not.
And by the way, that's not me talking shit about other companies and saying that they're wrong for doing that. I think, bro, it's the same as anything. You need
just
someone.
About the people using it that they talk about, like they're not using it.
Exactly. It's just they're not knowledgeable.
You need to craft whatever is in your brain. You need to have somebody that, if you're not an engineer, if you don't know how to make cars, but you have an idea for a car, well, then who are you gonna? You're gonna have to pay somebody to do that for you, right? So basically, that's what people are doing. They're like, hey, I want to make my own needles, but I don't have the resources or the knowledge to do it. So I'm going to pay you X amount of money to make the needles for me. Mm-hmm. And that's just how the world goes round,
That's how it goes.
It's round and it rolls.
It's very round. The earth is not flat.
No, it's not.
For
you flat earthers.
Oh, man. There you go.
Wait.
That's right. We're getting canceled on this one.
I know. We are.
Don't worry.
We are.
I have my people call their people.
You know what? What I just said right there, we're getting canceled on this one. That would be such a great teaser for the IG.
Dude.
Yeah. That would be a great teaser, bro. Right. Yeah. To get people like, well,
cancel that one. Yo, we need to listen to it now. We need to see it.
Yeah, we need to see it.
What I'm gonna do later afterwards is have him like throw the table and
Roid Rage?
This Friday.
Roid Rage?
What the f*** has happened to Crush?
Yeah. There, bingo.
That's funny.
Ay, señor.
Watch the podcast.
Watch, yeah. No, I'm serious. I would do that. That sounds like fun, actually.
Yo, me toca a mí ya.
I guess it's you, bro. Hey, we could just keep on talking.
Keep on, everybody gets
a turn.
I have to because apparently I'm the one that talks too much. So
that's like an internal thing, like an internal joke that we have. He's like, let me know if I'm interrupting too much or I'm not letting you guys talk.
Bro, it's just I catch myself again. I catch myself doing it. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. Let him talk.
Barely doing that.
Yeah.
All right, so obviously we usually in the year have more slow seasons than anything, unless you're a great artist like Crush Captain. But during slow season, like what do you do, like besides obviously trying to better your craft? Like how do you get your people in?
Did you say craft or crap?
Craft.
Oh, okay, my bad. I understood crap.
No.
My bad.
That's another thing.
Damn, bettering your craft is crazy.
Yeah, bettering your craft, depending on what you
like. How does that do? Do you just sit on the toilet and like you time, try to like go slow?
My question.
Like, what kind of supplements you taking?
My bad.
You know?
What kind of podcast is this?
Listen,
Healthier Poop podcast, bro.
That was my ADHD kicking in the moment I heard that.
Oh yeah. No, but yeah, man. Or how it was before? Because honestly, I'm guessing you pretty booked. You know, you came here to
not at all.
No, really,
not at all. I'm one of those people, man, where I'm very comfortable like saying and talking about whatever issues I'm going through. And I think what bothers me is I see a lot of people that are in the same situation I'm in, as far as, they're well-known artists, but they're not as, don't get me wrong, I'm not like dying. I'm not like sitting there at the shop just doing this all day. I do have clients. I'm just not booked as far out as I'm used to.
Okay.
Right? And I'm glad you brought that up because I think it's a topic that everyone is uncomfortable talking about because a lot of people want to sit back and pretend that just because they have a name for themselves or a reputation or they're used to making an X amount of money and that may not be the case anymore, like that's okay. You know what I mean? And this goes back to people wanting things right here, right now. And unfortunately, life is crazy. It's unexpected. So if it's your turn to suffer, let yourself suffer. Like, do something in between. Yeah. Don't just sink. But like, bro, if something's pulling you down and there's like nothing you can grab onto, there's nothing that you can do to hold. Like, if you're sinking, sink. But just be ready as soon as they let go to swim back up like a right? So I think it's okay that there is a slow season. And I'd say for this year, it's been a slow year, not a season. And I think a lot of people can say that. And they've, whether you've been staying busy or not, I think majority of people, and by majority, I'd say anywhere between 75 to 80% of tattoo artists in the globe right now, right, are noticing a slower year. And that's okay. I say it's okay because a lot of people make tattooing their personality. They make it their life, which is grand. Like, that's great. Good for you. You're focused on your career, trying to do the best that you can. I did it too for a very, very long time. And I gave up on other things in life. I had no balance, right? The reason I think it's kind of a good thing that this has happened is because it's given me time to reflect on who I am as a person and who I am outside of tattooing, right? And when that happened, when the slow season happened, and I started reflecting on everything, and I had more time to think, I realized, I was like, I'm not as developed of a human being as I thought I was, in different senses. I'm not as developed as I would like to be mentally, spiritually, physically, financially. And mind you, that goes for everyone. Because even if you're a millionaire, I'm willing to bet most millionaires are still out of shape. So that means technically you could still better yourself physically. Yeah. Maybe you're a millionaire, but you have behavioral issues. Maybe you have marital issues. Therefore, you can work on yourself mentally. Yeah. Maybe you're a millionaire. Everything else is going good to a degree, but you feel this guilt about not doing the right things in certain times. Well, then maybe you need to work on yourself spiritually, right? I think there are many different boxes in which everyone can improve. And we get so caught up prioritizing our career because we want to be the best and it's very competitive that we forget that there are still other aspects of life that we can improve in.
Yeah.
So now I'll bring it back and say, why is it actually a good thing for it to be slow? Well, you can use this time to work on those different boxes. Because there's nothing, like if you've tried promoting this, promoting that, trying to get more people in the chair, doing this and doing that, and things are still slow for you, well then that's just like, in my opinion, I don't want to bring like God into this, but maybe it's just the universe telling you, hey, right now is not the time for this. Right now, perhaps you need to work on this. Yeah. That's how I see it.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. That's how I see it,
and
that's how I choose to see it. And in my opinion, it's made me a better human being overall, right? Yeah. When bad things happen, you have to look at what you can do in the meantime to keep moving. And I think a lot of people are like, they don't understand the concept of winding down from work. So when people see this time as like, oh, okay, it's slow, they're like, okay, well, perhaps I should invest this time in like learning art. That's cool. That's good. You can do that. You can better your art. But what about your life outside of art? How are your relationships? How's your health? How's your body? How is your mind? What kind of things do you believe in? When you're alone and you're in your mind and you're going through something rough, who are you talking to? Are you talking to yourself? Are you talking to a higher power? Those are the kind of things that I think people overlook, and they're very important in hard times. Yeah. And right now we're in hard times, whether anybody wants to admit it or not.
Mental health is very big right now, man.
It's very, very big. And I'll tell you what, bro, ever since I started doing that, the amount of times that I used to get depressed, literally depressed. This, you can put it on video. I've had clinical depression since I was 9 years old or 10 years old, something like that. Super young. Super young. And I've dealt with it my whole life. I was still able to do all the things that I wanted to do with it. But now that I adopted this mentality of like, okay, well, I'm going to take time to work on this, to do that, and just not be a tattoo artist, not letting that be my whole personality. Okay. Right? I've been like little to no depression in the last year and a half. It's like I genuinely do not even believe in depression because I'm like, if I can do all of these things, well, was that depression anyway? And if it actually was depression, well, then maybe the cure for depression is bettering yourself so that you don't let yourself get depressed. Yeah. And I'm not saying that works for anybody. I don't want to come off as insensitive. I'm just telling you what worked for me and what has worked for other people who inspired me to think that way.
Well, that's another way to help out because there's people that don't know how to.
Haven't gone through that.
Yeah, for the last year, and it's amazing. I'm probably when I think in terms of like, I feel guilty for not tattooing more, not working harder, not making as much money as I used to. I think, well, how have I progressed this year? You know, because I think technically, as far as art goes, in my opinion, I haven't actually improved in the last year and a half, which if I didn't have the things that I gain now, it would have hurt me to know that. But because in the last year, I've just been tattooing the same as I was a year and a half ago, but my body is more built. My mind is more built. My belief in what I believe is more concrete. And I feel more confident as a human being. I don't mind that I'm not making as much money as I used to. I don't mind that I'm not as booked as I used to be because I'm still doing what I used to do. It's just a little slower now, and I have more time to dedicate to other things that truly matter. Because when you die, you're not going to... if you die and you don't work on yourself and your mental health, you're going to die, like, perhaps sad. You're going to die perhaps alone. You're going to die with perhaps some regrets. Yeah. When you're in your deathbed, you're not going to be like, oh, man, I wish I would have tattooed 50 more times a year. Damn it, I wish
should have worked on my lines.
I should have tattooed at least 2 more people a week. You're not going to think in those terms. Yeah. You're going to think, man, maybe like I used to have anger issues, right? And now I don't have anger issues. So, and that took me a very long time to work on. I used to get grumpy so fast for anything. And now that I've worked on it, I know at least if I die, let's say in you know, whether it's a year or 50 years or 70 years, I will die knowing that I overcame that anger, and I spent most of my life after that not being grumpy to those people around me, being more loving, being more composed of my emotions and how I feel around others, especially others that I care about.
Yeah.
The way I present myself now from this point after I worked on myself as a human being brings way more value to those around me than I did when I was booked out for 10 months in advance and I was making almost double the amount of money that I was making. But I was still, I don't want to say a piece of shit person, but I definitely wasn't as good of a person as I am now. And I couldn't bring the value to those around me that I can bring now, like core values. Mm-hmm. So
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel
no, man. Well said, dude.
Shit. I feel I was like that before, and I'm still learning, but I've gotten way better with those issues, man.
You know, it's funny because you mentioned anger issues, and I think a lot of majority of men have anger issues.
Yeah. We're very emotional people, actually.
Okay, so my guy, he was a judge in the Orlando tattoo show, right? So today we're gonna do some judging here.
Oh boy,
we're gonna show a couple of.
You don't want my critiques, bro. You don't want my critiques.
Are you gonna put it there?
Yeah. Well, I'll go over there and no, we can't put it. Can we put it there? I think we can put it there.
Yeah,
let's put it there.
That's pretty dope if we can put it there.
Yeah, let's put it there. Hold on. Let's do the first one. Let's go right here.
Bro, I'm gonna make you cry. I'll make you cry. But it's okay. You can judge mine, and I'll cry too.
Well, let's
Look
talk
at
about
the
this
picture.
One. Look at this one.
This terrible tattoo. This guy's an amateur. Who the hell did this?
Listen,
bro, send him packing. This guy's probably Cuban. Send him back in La Alza. Send that boy swimming back to Cuba, bro. He don't even deserve a boat. That's garbage.
This guy's telling me, yo, do you think he'll judge some artwork? And I'm like, what are you planning? He goes, I'm gonna put pictures of his work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you stupid.
Yeah, 100%.
I know he doesn't like
this. I feel so much more comfortable actually judging my own. I mean, I don't know who did that, but yeah. I'm actually really proud of this tattoo, but it's so funny because it doesn't matter how proud I am of any tattoo that I've done. I can break it down to the point where I will literally hate it afterwards. But that's how I am with everything.
I criticize myself so bad.
Yeah.
Man.
Now, hold on. Now that it's here, you see how... Yeah, hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I have a question.
Yes, sir.
You see this glow that's right here?
Yeah.
What is like how can you or how would you teach how to do that?
If you attend my seminar for $250, I
will there you go. It's down in the
It'll
comments.
all be there.
The link is down
below. All the secret sauce. No, I'm just kidding. There's no secret sauce. I would never. You know what? I could never do that.
No, you can't.
I could never do that. And I'll tell you one thing, and I think about this all of the time. There is one artist who I've looked up to for very long, and I look up to him more than just the tattoos that he does and just the way that he speaks or at least when he writes to me, the way he has written before. I like the way he carries himself to others and how humble he is. And I've actually adopted a lot of his ways because it gave me a standard of how to be, no matter, even if in my opinion, he's one of the best. Right. And when I look at him, I'm like, this guy is literally somebody I look up to so much. His work is so good. His work ethic. I mean, the guy, all he does is live, breathe tattoo from what it seems like. I mean, when you look at his Instagram, this is back-to-back bangers, super consistent, and all he does is grow. So when I look at him and how comfortable he is giving information, when I say there's nobody that can write to me that doesn't get some sort of extensive message back about how I do the things that I do, I didn't come up with that. I got it from this guy. This guy, I would write him anytime when I first started doing anime tattoos. And he could probably look this up and go back in the timestamp. It was probably late 2017 when I started asking him questions. This guy would write me back such extensive and I'm just like, dude, it's insane. And then I was like, at first I thought I was special. I was like, oh, he's writing back to me and giving me all this information.
Yeah, you're geeking out.
Yeah, because, I looked up to the guy. And I was a lot younger, too. So you know how it is, like, when you're younger, you kind of, like, fanboy people. Now I'm just like, he's just another human being, but I respect him so much. If anything, I don't want to say I look up to him because that sounds very immature, but, like, I respect the guy so much. So anyway, that's where I got that. And I think everyone should use that as a standard of, like, whenever anybody's asking for help in anything. You don't have to, because by right, you don't have to give anyone anything. But I think it is a lot more beautiful when you are a very giving person, So,
definitely.
To get back to what you were asking, Simon K. Bell, by the way.
Simon K. Bell.
Simon K. Bell, legendary, in my opinion. Amazing artist. Anyway, so what was your question about the glow?
The glow. What's like? I mean, I don't know how to.
Well, I mean, you have to kind of give me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna teach.
How the effect of having like that negative brightness in the center, and then everything else like that it's blending in English. Yeah, I was gonna say difuminación, but definitely. It's
so I think I know what you're talking about. I just wanted to make sure that I understood what you were asking me before I went on a spiel.
Yeah.
So essentially, when you're working with those areas, can I move the TV a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
There we go. So you see how hard the lines on the face are, and they just continue being hard and solid. And then if you notice, just in every area, all the lines are like very hard, they're solid, and they don't fade. If you look at the bottom part of the arm, you see how the line goes from solid and then it just fades into the aura? So what I did there was I basically used that black and then I faded it out to the color of the aura. And I created a line with the same color that I made the aura with. Okay. And then as I was shading, I shaded up until the point where the aura was going to be struck by, or where the arm was going to be struck by the aura. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to leave enough space so that the lightning that I would put it would look like it's creating an aura and it's going into the arm.
Okay.
Because if I would have put just a black solid line in there, it wouldn't have made sense, in my opinion. And that's why I choose to do things in the way that I do it.
Definitely.
But that's just one way to do that. Obviously if I had like a tattoo in front of me, I could like, kind of show you a little better. But that's just this is actually a cover up, by the way. Massive cover up. He had a huge spider web, right? Oh, you could actually still see the spider web.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Because that's the wrist, that's the elbow.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. I think we covered that too.
See, now that you know what? I'm going to have to go to one of your goddamn seminars.
Bro, you gotta pay $250.
I don't mind paying the $250. It's knowledge, bro. It's like
on the link.
It's like the other podcast talking to what's his name? J.E.
Yeah.
You're if like when you do apprenticeship and stuff like that, your payment back from the payment that I from the money that I have given the teacher is the knowledge.
Yeah.
So I don't think investing $250.
Yeah.
It's much.
I know how you feel about it, but you should.
You're gonna get a lot more. Are you saying that I should?
No. Yeah, you should pay him, but no, still, like you should do your own seminar, man, because the knowledge that you throw down, I mean,
you don't do them, right?
I do them at conventions so far. I've had I think 2 private seminars, like like inside studios. I also offer shops seminars. Okay. So like, if there's a few people in a studio that wanted to take a seminar, but they're not going to be able to make it to wherever I'm at, and maybe they're local or whatever, or if the money's good enough, I'll fly over there, whatever. I also would be willing to go into a studio and just teach a seminar inside of that studio. So, yeah.
Dude, let me know if you're down here and you got some time, dude. I'll book a private one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cause
let me know.
Don't get me wrong. If I could do anime tattoos and neo-tradi tattoos whole day, I would love it.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm still consider myself new.
Yeah.
Any knowledge that I could suck up, that sounded really wrong.
Well, you said knowledge. Thankfully, you said any knowledge. Because if you said if there's anything I can suck up, I mean, bro, that's a little sus.
That's the line.
That's a little sus.
I know. Yeah,
He's doing too many lines.
Too many lines.
Too many lines.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
No, but you know, anything that I could capture,
yeah.
that's knowledge, dude. I am willing to do it, dude. I love learning.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
So do you have another question?
No, I mean,
this guy's never talked.
The whole
podcast, he just hasn't talked.
Has not talked.
This is the first time I hear him talk the whole podcast.
Oh, man. An hour about not saying a whole hour of not saying no, but I don't know. You're a very motivational person. Anything else you want to throw out there? I don't know, whatever you have in your mind, like, because I got so many reels to throw out now with this man. get ready. Let me be your manager.
You know, I think this is the toughest question, and it's funny because how you said, I'm like, I'd consider myself to be a very motivational person, and I think because if you look back into this podcast, if you watch the whole thing, you'll realize that in this podcast, all I talk about is uplifting, motivating, and tough love. And I think that's what the world is missing the most. So if I could give something away to end my piece with the show and you guys, I think that trying to work on yourself on being more uplifting toward others and getting rid of cynicism, if you have any. Maybe you could leave it in there for jokes between your friends, locker room talk, right? Between you and the boys or the girls.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So cynicism, in my opinion, is fine for humor, right? I don't think cynicism is necessary past that. Tough love is important to understand and adopt for yourself and those that you love. I don't think tough love is good when you don't know people and you start giving them tough love, unless you know that that person is directly motivated by tough love. Then that's different. Aside from that, I think it's important to be tough on yourself, especially during these hard times. Because when times get easy, you forget that life is a cycle of hardship and then peace. There is war and then there's peace. But when peace has gone too long, somebody gets greedy and war begins. Yeah. The same as with every aspect in life. There will be times where times will be easy. There will be times where things will be difficult. And there will be times where it may seem like the world's ending. So it is important to adopt tough love for you to be able to have discipline and live a better life and as easy as you possibly can during those hard times.
So before we end this up, I'm going to give you something, hopefully.
La bolsita.
Behind, I'm trying to do something, obviously, because Behind the Ink is about tattoos, artists, and all that.
Oh, hell yeah.
I want to do something nice.
Did you spell it right? I'm just kidding.
I think I spelled it right. I don't know. But I want to solidify this brand and make it part of the tattoo community. And hopefully, obviously, my goal is to help all artists to, either get better some way, somehow, by learning from other tattoo artists.
Yep.
And what better way to learn from one of the best, the anime guys. So, Mr. Crush Captain, you're hereby Behind the Ink certified.
Oh,
okay. All right. I owe you a hat because I know you love hats, and that's our thing to do, man. So,
in recognition of your outstanding contributions to the tattoo community and your commitment to elevating the artistry of ink and design.
There you go, my friend.
This is amazing, man. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
This is great.
But that's it, my friend.
Hell yeah.
Another great episode of Behind the Ink.
Yes, sir. It was such a pleasure, man, speaking with you guys again. I always have an amazing time.
Thank you.
I mean, always. This is the second one, but honestly,
it is the second one.
I feel so much more comfortable talking to you guys, and I feel like I can talk about anything. Likewise. Hopefully that means that everybody else will. And I think you guys are on the road to success and literally growing so much, and I hope you do.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
man.
All right, well, guys, check you guys out.
It's a wrap.